Is everybody having fun yet? Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It is Rod with Pow Group. Today is Friday, March 25th. Happy Friday and cheers, having a molo currently. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the stock Tilray, ticker symbol TLRY on the NASDAQ. It had its highest daily volume traded ever in history, and also the second highest weekly volume for the stock ever. And also going to talk about the Pow Algo buy alert that we had go off on Tilray, and also going to do some technical analysis. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, tick the bell to be notified on any future uploads. Taking a look at the first article here, this was an article shared from Yahoo Finance. Bears pinched in Tilray-led pot stock rally on legislation hopes. So we did have some House of Representatives news. High Times came out with this article earlier today. House of Representatives expected to vote on MORE Act next week. And Chuck Schumer saying that he has a lot of power and likely going to push a bill through next month into April as well. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye out on, and we're going to keep an eye out for. But that's basically the reason why we had that PAL buy alert go off and the highest volume ever was because of those two factors. And that just, everything got beaten down for so long that eventually, it was just a matter of time before we see those shorts get squeezed. And I did a video, cannabis stock short squeeze, and then I also did a video earlier today on why are LPs, licensed producers, so Canadian MJ going up more than MSOs, multi-state operators, so American MJ, when this is on legalization in the US news. So one would think if it's the US legalizing that the US companies would be running the most, but which was not the case. So if you want to know why, I go over it in that video. But like I said, we also had a PowBot buy alert that went off on Tilray stock. So you can go to powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. You can subscribe there. Our 1 week free trial has expired, so you can check back later on. But you can also sign up for a private chat community where we bounce, buy and sell ideas off of each other. A community of about 100 people. Getting close to 100 people now. And like I said, we talk 24/7, 365. We do private member live streams, and you can do ticker requests directly in there anytime. But like I said, just keep an eye out for the 7-day free trial to come again in the future. So going to take a look at the Tilray chart here now and do some technical analysis. So you can see here on the daily time frame, we had the highest daily volume ever in the history of the stock. And we'll just zoom in. I also covered a little bit of Tilray in the video earlier today because we were looking for a bottom and what we needed to be confident in a bottom being set. So a lot of people are asking, is this the bottom? Is this the bear market bottom? Are we going to be entering a multi-year bull market? I think the answer is yes. I think we're going to see a run up into May, and then the broader market may see a sell in May and go away. And then we may see some profit taking into May. And then what would likely happen is we get a little bit of a summer lull, and then I think things would pick back up again into the elections in the fall. But if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, what I could potentially see, we still have yet to change the weekly trend as well, so we need to change the weekly trend. But look at that volume, second highest weekly volume traded ever. And we also have earnings coming up as well in April, so that's something we could see some bullish results or bearish results. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. It'll all depend on how high we run. If we run really hard into that earnings, we're really going to have to crush earnings in order to maintain that momentum. If we run mediocre and the results are good, then we'll likely see a positive and bullish reaction, right? But if it's, if we sell off into those earnings, it wouldn't take a lot of a beat or a surprise there to see a overreaction, right, to the upside. So this is really going to determine. Everything's really going to be determined by how much we run up into or drop into those earnings. But what I could likely see is potentially a monthly lower high into the summer, and then we pull back, and then we come down, form a monthly higher low, and then into November, into the elections, we confirm monthly uptrends. And we know weekly uptrends are great, and the fact that we are confirming weekly uptrends on some names. We also had a PowBot algo alert go off on HMMJ, the ETF, but we've still yet to change the weekly trend on Tilray. So we broke the weekly downtrend. Once we got above resistance at 748, that confirmed that negated the weekly downtrend. So now we're flat. The trend is currently flat, and we need to change the weekly trend. So when we top out on this weekly bounce, we're going to come back up. Let me just get rid of my lines here. So when we top out on this weekly bounce, we're going to come down, look for a weekly higher low. So if you miss the boat, so to speak, and you're looking to buy, maybe you're wondering, When's a good time to enter? And I don't want to FOMO in right now because I know if I FOMO in, it's probably going to pull back. So what I would encourage you to do is wait for a weekly high or low, maybe daily oversold conditions. We're not even getting close to, let me just bring up the daily time frame here. Actually, yeah, we are daily overbought now after 2 back-to-back 20+% gain days. But like I said, we know that we need to change the weekly downtrend is no longer intact, so we need to confirm the weekly uptrend. So if you're looking for long-term entries, watch for that weekly high or low. But now's the time where we're going to see FOMO. They're going to run it. We close near the high of the week, and we have absolutely no weekly resistance until 13.95 on Tilray. We obviously have some daily resistances there to be watching. We have a key level there at 9.94, so $10 psychological, sell USD on the NASDAQ, of course. And then we have a level there at 11.05, and then nothing really until the high there at 13.95, like I mentioned on the weekly time frame. But again, once we change weekly trends, then we zoom out to the monthly, and once we confirm monthly uptrends, then we're absolutely confident that we're in a brand new bull cycle that I think could last. That bull market could last a couple of years personally. But like I said, we also had a PowBot algo alert go off. We closed over the 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD are blasting off into space. The stock looks ready to explode, and we have no weekly moving average resistance all the way up to about 1162. But we are starting to see the 50 weekly cross down through the 100. That's usually bearish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pretty big pullback. When we run this much, just in the last couple of weeks, on Tilray, we were up, let me just get this out here for everybody so you can see it. We are up 80% in a week, right? In a couple of weeks. You have to wonder when we're going to pull back. So don't be surprised if we pull back 10, 20, maybe even 30% on Tilray. And like I said, if you're looking for longer term entries, maybe wait for daily oversold, 4-hour oversold conditions, and a weekly high or low on a weekly trend change attempt. But again, they could absolutely start to pump this even more into next week. What I think is likely going to happen into Monday, we're going to see a daily inside bar. We'll have a tightening range. If you take a look at the range of that candle, it was about 16.5%. So we'll likely tighten up into Monday. And then what I could likely see happening is we come back down, we form a higher low, and somewhere around that $7 area. So don't be surprised if we do pull back into Monday. Like I said, probably going to be an inside bar, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, I think we could start daily consolidation after such a huge move. But we also had an hourly bull flag that was the key. And if I just adjust this here to regular, so we had this hourly bull flag that we were watching, and I called this out to private members. If you just do a quick measured move here, you can see here we held the 0.382 fib, and if we take the measured move and we can expect where we are going to go on this bounce, it would take us all the way up to about $10. So like I said, I could really see a hard and fast move up to $10. It's entirely possible we gap up into Monday, but personally, after closing at the high of the week, but personally, I think what we're likely going to see is a daily inside bar and then consolidation into Tuesday, Wednesday, and then come down, form a healthy higher low on the daily time frame. And in terms of the daily time frame in the moving averages, you can see here that we are now above the 50-day moving average, and we are now above the 100-day moving average as well. And we have that 200-day moving average there at 1065. So I think we're going to have really strong resistance there at $10. If you're swing trading, maybe that's a good idea to take some profit leading into that. And another option I mentioned to members as well was if you're looking for an entry, enter on this hourly high or low, looking for a bull flag, and set your stop just below. So we had the support at 726. You could have entered there once we started to bounce on the next candle and start the hourly bounce. You could have entered with a stop below that low there at 726. Very, very low risk. So essentially you're risking about 5-6% to make upwards of 10 to 12%. So that's some good risk reward opportunity. All right, going to end it there. Let me know what you think. Is the bottom in on Tilray? Are we going to see a gap up into Monday? Always love hearing from you. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel on your way out, and we will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend.